I am, as you may be able to tell by my physical physique, sorry, I'm tired. I am not exactly what you would call a strong person. Maybe even some would be mean and say weak. I weigh less than 120 pounds. I am 19, and I grew up in a abusive household underneath my older brother, who constantly beat me up, and I was often afraid to go home. Because of this, I have a very dominating personality, because I don't like to be in a submissive state at all. I hate pain in every way. Everything about my life has conditioned me not to enjoy pain at all. That understood. Ow! That wasn't pulled back. That was about as hard as I was willing to do it. This is my point against what Go Green, or I'm sorry, I forget her name, is saying here. Am I likely to do that just any old time I feel like it? Or ever again? Probably not. She's right. My conditioning, my biology, everything is going to tell me not to do that. But that does not make me not free, as she claims. That means I'm letting my psychology take over for me, not doing what I decide to do, just doing what is convenient at the time. Doing that does not make free will non-existent. Free will is just the ability to choose anything. Free will is that nothing can stop you from choosing to do anything, including hitting yourself. There's no reason in my history why I would want to do that. There's no biological reason for it. No animal gets by long by enjoying pain, I don't imagine. Um, Everything she was talking about, I believe, is disproved by that. If you're willing to accept that I don't, you know, enjoy pain, which I promise you I don't. Now then, this is, of course, Jean-Paul Sartre's argument in Existentialism and Free Will. And it's just about how you always have the choice to do something. I made a video, this is my friend Scott Babbitt reading it, and it was a story that I'd written called The Ledge. If you can get through the first half, you might be able to appreciate it more, but I don't hold it against anybody not to be able to listen to that half of the story. But in the second half, I'm discussing what I'm discussing now, which is how unbelievably free you are. You can do anything, no matter what the situation. There's nothing that stops you from doing it. That's what free will means. Just because you don't consciously make every decision does not eliminate free will, is the point I'm trying to make here. I should have prepared this a little bit better. But she goes on to talk about morality in her video, the Green's video. I'm also very nihilistic and existentialist at the same time. I don't really love labels, but if you did have to throw one on me, you could call me an anti-conventional existential nihilist, which is a mouthful, which is why I like that title at all. But my view on morality is not just nihilistic, that it has no value or anything. My view on morality is it's not real. What I mean by that is, let's just address truth and know that this applies to morality exactly the same way. It's just easier to pick truth. It's easier to describe it based on truth, let me say. Alright. So, we have to agree that if I say object X is 99% like object Z, then we have to have an object Z to compare it to as to why it's 99%, right? I mean, that's my fair premise, I believe. You can't say X is 99% like Z if you don't have a Z to compare it to. So, I mean, X is either 99% like Z, if there is a Z, or X is just X. There's no way to compare it to anything. I keep looking down at the thing, I'm sorry. Anyways, so if there is no Z, then X is just X on its own. This is what I'd go for: truth, morality, a lot of things that we believe and that we hold as the highest truth. This is also true for mathematics and language and everything. Alright? If you don't have a standard, nothing can be like it. You can't have increments of a nothing. You need something that is set, and then you can have increments of it. Most actions that we consider to be true, or most things that we consider to be true, are in degrees of truth. But we hold it that there is this standard, this ultimate truth, and there isn't. For there to be an ultimate truth, that needs to conform to some certain things, and I have a list of those. It's 5 things. It needs to be eternal, it needs to be uncompromising, it needs to be all-encompassing. Fuck, I wrote these down, hold on. I always forget my own argument, isn't that useful? Commentary. Maybe this is it. I'll try to post these at the end of it. Hold on, or in the description. But anyways, my point is, it has, for something to be an ultimate truth, it has to conform to certain things. Otherwise, how can you say it's an ultimate truth if it isn't truth? If it isn't an ultimate truth in this part of the world or in this part of the universe, you know, you can't have something be an ultimate truth if it's not universal. It has to always be true no matter where you are. It has to always be true no matter what point in time you're at. It's something like that. And there are a couple more. I'm so sorry I forgot them. I'm tired. I just saw this video and I had to respond to it. Anyway, that's my argument, that there has to be an ultimate truth for there to be degrees of truth. And what I say is that there is no ultimate truth at all. There's no ultimate morality or anything else like that. You have to have an ultimate before you can have degrees. There is no ultimate. So since there is no ultimate morality, all actions that are considered moral are just degrees of a nothing, which makes no sense at all. You can't have a percentage of 0, because it's 0. So there is no morality, is my argument. Now, as far as a reason to act moral, people have been looking for this since forever. There's always been this question of why we should act moral, and honestly, I don't have a good answer. I have an answer that works, and that's just because it's easy. It's easier if everybody acts moral, as long as they don't take it too seriously. Once again, I'm sorry for messing up my argument here. That's my bad. I might take this down and repost it better. Goodbye, everybody, and I hope this doesn't lag like crazy.